The drama surrounding Caitlin Clark, Lexie Hull, and the Indiana Fever has taken on a life of its own, spilling beyond the hardwood and into the collective conversation about fairness, resilience, and what playoff basketball is supposed to look like. Game 2 of the WNBA semifinals was supposed to be a chance for the Fever to build on their stunning opening victory in Las Vegas, a night where they dismantled the defending champions on their own floor and made the basketball world believe this young team was no longer a feel-good story, but a legitimate threat. Instead, it became something else entirely, an evening where whistles dictated rhythm, bodies hit the floor more often than the ball found the net, and Lexie Hull's pain became the symbol of Indiana's fight against not just their opponent, but the entire system working against them. From the very start, you could sense this wasn't going to be a normal playoff contest. The Aces had been embarrassed in Game 1, stunned by a Fever team that executed with precision and discipline. Kelsey Mitchell's 34-point masterpiece had left Las Vegas with no answers, while A'ja Wilson, fresh off her MVP celebration, struggled mightily under Indiana's smothering defense. That night had been a statement. The Fever weren't simply happy to make the semifinals, they were there to seize control. But the deeper you looked at Game 1, the more you noticed hints of imbalance already creeping in. The foul count leaned oddly toward Vegas, but Indiana's dominance was so complete that the discrepancy could be shrugged off. That luxury disappeared by Game 2. From the opening tip, the tone changed. Las Vegas abandoned finesse and went straight to brute force. Wilson set moving screens that felt more like tackles, elbows flew on box-outs, and every Indiana player who dared to cut through the lane absorbed contact that no whistle ever seemed to acknowledge. The referees allowed it under the familiar playoff guise of letting them play. But when 41 fouls are called in one game, with 16 in a single quarter, that's not physical basketball, it's chaos, a demolition derby in sneakers. Every possession was fractured, every rhythm broken. The Fever, who thrive on movement, spacing, and tempo, were forced into a stop-and-start grind that suited Las Vegas perfectly. Caught in the middle of that storm was Lexie Hull. She shouldn't even have been on the floor. Her back had been battered in Game 1, the kind of injury most players would take as a signal to rest, to heal, to step aside. But Hull strapped on her jersey anyway, taped herself together, and took the floor with the determination of someone unwilling to let her team fight alone. What followed was as courageous as it was painful. Every cut she made was met with a shove, every defensive rotation greeted with a collision. Wilson, in particular, seemed to take special aim at Hull, knocking her to the ground more times than anyone could count. And yet, through all of it, Hull found her answer, not in words, but in shots. 5 three-pointers, each one a refusal to fold, each one a message that Indiana would not be intimidated. Those threes tied a Fever playoff record, but more importantly, they defined the night. Hull wasn't just playing basketball. She was making a stand. Around her, teammates tried to fight through the sludge of officiating and Vegas's physical game plan. Aaliyah Boston scraped together a double-double, every rebound a war, every basket earned through collisions that would have been fouls in any other setting. Odyssey Sims poured in 18 points, often creating something out of broken plays while bouncing off defenders who seemed more concerned with body-checking her than staying in front. Even Caitlin Clark from the sidelines radiated frustration, visibly furious at how every moment of momentum was halted by a whistle or a non-call that tilted the game back toward Las Vegas. And yet, the box score told a different story. It crowned Wilson the hero. 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 steals, 2 blocks. Numbers that glitter, but numbers that tell nothing of how they were achieved. They came through bulldozing drives, through whistles Indiana never saw returned, through collisions disguised as post moves. Fans watching weren't fooled. They saw the imbalance, the tilt, the way Indiana's precision was being unraveled not by Vegas's brilliance, but by the officials' refusal to rein in the madness. Even Kelsey Mitchell, the hero of Game 1, became collateral damage in this tactical shift. Vegas smothered her with double teams, face-guarded her when she didn't have the ball, and absorbed screens with such ferocity that her usual quick bursts of separation disappeared. Held to just 13 points, Mitchell didn't suddenly forget how to score. She was neutralized by a defensive scheme that crossed the line from aggressive to punishing, the kind that leaves a player not just frustrated but bruised. Watching her stumble through bumps and grabs that never drew whistles, it was hard not to think of the commentary around freedom of movement, a principle that seemed entirely absent from this game. And still, the Fever refused to break. That's the part of the story that matters most. Game 2 wasn't lost because Indiana folded. It was wrestled away from them, dragged into the mud by an opponent desperate to claw momentum back. But every time the Aces tried to bury them, someone in a Fever jersey answered. Hull with her perimeter fire, Boston with her relentless glasswork, Sims with her fearless drives. Even down double digits, Indiana clawed back, only for whistles to halt their runs and Vegas to march back to the free throw line. Now the series turns to Indianapolis and everything changes. Gainbridge Fieldhouse isn't just another arena, it's a cauldron, a place where 17,000 voices rise as one and create an atmosphere no official, no opponent can easily ignore. In Las Vegas, Hull's falls to the floor were brushed aside. In Indianapolis, every one of them will be met with a roar demanding justice. Boston's battles in the post will be magnified by a crowd unwilling to stay silent when she's hacked. And Mitchell, burning with frustration from being suffocated in Game 2, will walk into a building that chants her name before she even takes a shot. The Fever have already proven they can win on the road. They shocked the league by dismantling the Aces in their fortress in Game 1. Now, with 2 games at home, the balance of power shifts. Vegas may have evened the series, but they did it with officiating that felt like a crutch, not with the dominance of a true champion. The question isn't whether Indiana can respond. It's whether Vegas can survive a road environment where the crowd becomes a sixth defender, where every whistle, or lack of one, is amplified, and where the Fever's resilience turns into something more dangerous, belief. And make no mistake, belief is what drives this team. Hull has already shown she'll play through pain and still deliver daggers. Boston has shown she'll take every hit and keep grinding. Mitchell has shown that when she finds daylight, she can torch anyone in the league. Add Caitlin Clark's leadership, her fury channeled into rallying her teammates, and you see a team that isn't intimidated by the moment. They're fueled by it. Game 3 won't just be another playoff contest. It's the pivot point, the night where Indiana has the chance to swing the series back in their favor and put Las Vegas on the ropes. So while the headlines from Game 2 may celebrate Wilson's stat line, the real story is still unfolding. Indiana didn't crumble. They endured. They learned. And now they're bringing that fire back home. Gainbridge Fieldhouse is ready, the fans are ready, and the Fever are ready to turn injustice into fuel. The Aces may have escaped with Game 2, but the battle is only beginning. And in Indianapolis, the storm is about to break. If you're backing Indiana's fight, let us know in the comments with a "Let's Go Fever." Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter in this explosive series. The fire is only getting started.